You should have to do it every time, Isaac.
We should have like some German music for the intro whenever we have Isaac on.
We're gonna play some
It's got like a little thing, like
some Blitzkrieg or something.
Some 40s era German folk music.
All right, I think we're live. We might be live, but I see 0 comments. It did this shit last night too. I went live. I was live for like 10 minutes. Nobody was there. I ended it, went live again, and all of a sudden it worked. Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
It just gave me a notification.
AJ, what's up? Mojave, what's up? Here we go. All right. Will Cox, what's up? Not Will Cox Industry. Paul Bennett, R&R Farms. What's going on, guys? Derek Olson, how are we? You don't fucking touch that.
You can't see the comments.
You don't get to see you don't even talk.
I talk.
I'm really not sure why you're even on this team. Bob, what's up? Josh. All right, what were you telling me?
I said that I've had some dog shit jobs.
And I said, you don't know what a dog shit job is. What's your worst job you've ever had?
So when I say dog shit jobs, I don't mind physical labor. That's not a problem for me. I just hate being bored. So when I was doing security at Bridgestone.
See, here you go, man. Here I am thinking. I knew you were going to say that too. Like, that is a fucking cush job.
No, it is. It is. Absolutely. It's super easy. But that's the problem, is that you just spend half of your shift not doing anything.
You get to have sex with drunk girls that you never have to fucking see again.
Wow.
No, that didn't happen?
No.
See, you're doing it wrong.
That didn't happen.
Stacking some ovens this morning. Speaking of German music.
Holy shit.
Eagle, what's up? Yeah, you don't know what a dog shit job is.
I did work in a sawmill. That was
out here making the world a blacker place. Doing fucking blacktop coating. It was drunk men you were having sex with. Yeah, there we go. He's like, it wasn't women. Try fucking all the Mexican dudes take you to a job site and drop you off with a wheelbarrow, a pickaxe, and shovels. And you don't have any fucking gloves or anything. Try that job where they drop you off at 7 in the morning and pick you up at 5 in the evening, and it's 90 degrees outside. And you don't, like, they don't give you a lunch. And mom didn't send you a lunch. You're drinking fucking warm hose water. Or try being the cleanup guy on a brick block and masonry crew, right? You're using muriatic acid. And you're fucking putting this sponge in, and you've got gloves. You've got these big, heavy, like dishwashing gloves, but without fail, somehow a grit of sand gets inside there. And no matter what you do, your fingertips are fucking worn off and like bloody at the end of the day.
Oh my God.
And you always get a new pair of gloves every couple of days, but they don't, like, something always fucking happens where the grit gets in there or the muriatic acid gets in there.
You got to tape them. You got to tape them down.
Let the hose run for a minute. Water gets cold. Not where we were. Not where we were. Buddy of mine just found out about SOE and was asking about the giveaway being real. I said, yeah, I won the February one. He couldn't believe it. Right on. What'd you win, R&R? What was that one? So the giveaway right now, the April giveaway is still in effect. Every $5 gets you an entry when you use the appropriate code or one of the codes. Our current giveaway right now, we're doing a gummy bear promo. You get a 1 pound gummy bear with your order, and every $5 gets you an entry into the April giveaway. And the April giveaway is a Rallyman vest. It is a Rallyman vest. The grand prize winner gets a Rallyman vest, hydro carrier, butt pack, and belt. First place winner gets a Rallyman vest. Second place gets a $300 gift card. Third place gets a $200 gift card. Fourth place gets a $100 gift card. Everyone should do concrete and work in it. I think so too. Everybody, Amanda says you should have to work customer service during Black Friday. I think every kid Every kid to get out of government school system should work 90 days customer service, 90 days construction, something where you're outside sweating, it's hot, you build up calluses, and something where you have to deal with useless eaters out in public. If nothing else, just to appreciate what that job is, because it's going to calibrate the entire rest of your life as you get better jobs. The deplorable bag rifle case, and right on.
I think February was the kit bag
He
trio.
He just told you what it was.
Yeah. Did we do a rifle case on that one too?
Yeah, the grand prize did. First job was picking up wet hay bales. Holy shit. And wet hay bales catch on fire, right? When you stack them up in the barn. Motivated me to become as competent as possible. When you're picking up those hay bales, did you guys use those hooks or do you pick them up by the strings? Mandatory hay baling in high school graduation.
I built a sidewalk on my high school for volunteer hours to graduate.
But you didn't really build it.
No, we did. We did everything. We mixed it all, and
At a Quikrete?
Yeah, I don't remember. But we had one of the barrel mixers, and that was all it took for me to know I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Do it. You should have to do it for 90 days. Was offered a job labor at high school. Watched Mason laying bricks. Immediately knew I wouldn't keep up. Made me try harder academically. Right on. Gary, what's up? When my cousin dropped out of school, my grandpa sent him leather gloves and a Spanish English dictionary so he could take it to class, talk to his boss. Now they have fucking apps and shit. They even have an earpiece you can put in.
The AI now translates it better than anything.
People don't realize your YouTube channel. They actually they'll broadcast your YouTube channel in other languages now from AI. Chuck, what's up, man? How are you? Yeah, they're picking those hay bales up by string. And there's different size hay bales, too. I've never seen that until like the last couple years. When you buy straw bales were always just all one size. And now they have, like, do you know there's a 4 by 8 foot square bale? I'd never seen that either. There's a fucking square bale that's 4 feet by 8 feet. Yeah. I'd seen just the rounds, and there's different size round bales too. They got like those little micro ones that they put the American flag fucking nets on.
Surely they're not lifting those big round bales. Aren't those things like 1,000 pounds?
They just spike it.
Well, you spike them. I lift them with forks. I just use the forks to push them. Or we've also just pushed them around with a 4-wheeler, just kind of rolled them where we wanted them. Scully had dudes out there pushing them. I don't know how these dudes let cigarettes hang out of their mouths while they rake asphalt. I don't know how dudes smoke cigarettes riding motorcycles. You used to see that shit all the time. Dino, what's up, man? How are you? Edgy, what's up? How many knives you got right now? How many did you do this month? Always debated if we should do 110-pound small square bales or do 55 squares and do twice as many. There's really something to that, man. There really is something to that. Like when I was breaking up concrete, it was always a conversation in my head. Do I swing the hammer more and make the pieces smaller? Or do I swing the hammer less and have to move the bigger pieces? And a lot of time, it's like the super kit bag thing. Guys are always like, I want a super kit bag that's twice as big. And I go, most people can't move it. Like moving super kit bags around, I'd rather have 2 bags than 1 giant bag. Plus they're equal that way when you're trying to walk with them. That's why the fuel cans and water cans, the best ones have 3 handles on them, right? So you can, if it's a single person, you hold the one in the middle. But if you have 2 people, you can each hold one side and then hold another one on your other side. Always swing the hammer more. Did Autobot, and there's a lot of that too. A lot of times, like, do the worst stuff, the most physical labor first while you're fresh. I'd rather pay a little bit more and have fucking 55 pound bales. Working on new artwork, right on. Currently working on a batch of 30 for this month, right on. So 35 next month. Are you doing stock removal on all those? Or is somebody, are you getting blanks cut now? Are you having them water jetted yet? On the air, what's up? Man, there's a lot of dead air here. You are not a good co-host. Yeah.
Ask him, are varicose veins dangerous?
Are varicose veins dangerous, Chuck?
I'm not asking for me. I'm just seeing this video earlier. I was like,
I think they're supposed to be like really uncomfortable. And you hear them talk about stripping them, I guess, where they take them out. But I thought there was a procedure where they can put something.
putting something in them.
I've seen where they put like a needle into one,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, that's
inject
what that
stuff
video
and it
right
goes
there
throughout.
is.
Yeah,
He's injecting them and then
Zarge, well, I figured that was you, man. No water jet yet, but I'm at the point that I don't have a choice. Well, you don't go buy a water jet. Water jets eat themselves to pieces. Use a job shop for right now. Joanne is getting feisty again.
Joanne Fabric.
No, it's his daughter.
Yeah.
John Kruger, what's up, buddy? There are several different procedures to fix them. Comes down to root cause of what is causing them. Your dad says good morning.
man, you're only gonna talk to me on the live, huh?
That's when you pay attention.
That's like your ass. I messaged you. I didn't see it.
He has to come over there right to your face, 3 inches from you, and be like, hey.
This motherfucker has no idea the shit he misses out on. I don't ever, like, nobody's going to type out all the, hey, they're going to be like, what are you doing? That's what every conversation starts, even you and me, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Because that's going to determine if you don't answer, I'm not going to text all this shit out
Yeah.
or fucking hold my plans up
Yeah.
for what I'm doing. Ron, we can talk about whatever you want, man. I know this motherfucker is not talking, and I haven't seen him all week. Your dad's gonna fucking ambush you. You come out the door.
Just tackle right here.
What's the worst job you've had?
I haven't had any like bad jobs. I've just had jobs that are worse than motherfuckers that say they've had bad jobs. Like at the time I was doing them, I was fucking totally happy to have the job, right? When I was doing construction work like that, that came with a lot of perks. Like Jeff Hunter owned the company and he had employed a bunch of Mexican dudes. And that job, like Jeff had a couple wolf dogs, like real wolves. And there's a lot of stories, crazy stories through my life that only happened because I knew Jeff Hunter. Like Jeff Hunter had a blasting license. So he had some trees that he wanted taken down along the driveway. So they used primacord, det cord, and they wrapped these trees and they blew these trees up. Well, it blew up a couple windows in the neighbors' houses, right? So the sheriff came. So like, that's one story. Like, and I was just like a kid. I was like 13 and I'm watching like explosives go off and shit, which was really neat. Well, Jeff didn't call and notify the sheriff's department. So like bombs never go off like around our houses. So that was fun. Jeff always had big snakes and I was always into snakes and stuff. So when he'd go buy snakes, because you used to have to like get a newspaper and look in the newspaper, just like, and then it was Craigslist, right? So we'd drive fucking hours away to go pick up snakes and we'd meet people that like worked at zoos and shit. And then Jeff always had guns and we were shooting in Jeff's backyard and you weren't supposed to shoot in the backyard and we were in like city limits. So you'd shoot a few rounds and then go kind of hide and shit. But like those were, Jeff would take me places and I'd get to go do a lot of things that I wouldn't get to do. So there was always perks to that job. Now the job paid, I think, $5 an hour, maybe $4 an hour or whatever. It was better than McDonald's. And at McDonald's, when my grandfather got me my very first job, I was 13 years old, and I would get on a bus, and then I would ride a bus for about 30 minutes and then transfer and then ride another bus like another 30 minutes to get to McDonald's to scrape the grill and put fucking hamburgers on the grill. At the time, there was a lot of shit I'd rather do than work at McDonald's, but I liked the money, right? I didn't have anybody else that was going to pay me money to do anything else. So the McDonald's job, and that is something that I talk about now, 40 years later, almost 30 years later, is that job. I have that calibration. I know I don't want to work fast food. I remember coming home and smelling, and then I had girlfriends over the years that had worked like at fast food or in restaurants, and they come home and that smell never leaves those clothes. Yeah. No matter what you do, anything you wash with those clothes, they still have. So it's that calibration, right? I've done all kinds of other shit. Fucking working with Jeff also, he had the contract to maintain the buoys in the ecological reserve in La Jolla. So anytime there, and I don't know why we did it in a high sea state, I guess to try to recover the buoys, but the buoys were held with chain to the ocean floor with engine blocks, like 350 engine blocks. So they would pull just the pistons and shit out of them, or pull as much shit as he get the fluids out. I don't think it was supposed to be engine blocks out there, but that's what was holding them. So anytime these fiberglass buoys would snap free, we'd be out there on Black's Beach or along the La Jolla coastline to find these buoys. And usually like Coast Guard or somebody had told him kind of where they were, but looking back on it, it was actually very treacherous. Like there were times when we were like on these slippery rocks coming down and a wave would fucking hit you and just pull you out in the fucking ocean every time I got back. But like, it's just shit like that. Like when you said the water's cold, like you have no idea what cold water is. Like no fucking idea what cold water is. And when you've been in cold water for, 5 minutes, 10 minutes at a time, to get in that water knowing you're only going to be in there for 1 or 2 minutes, it's just calibration. It's just past history, stuff like that. So those jobs, while I would not want to do with them now, I mean, even when I came home from prison, right, to get out of the halfway house, to be able to leave the halfway house, the whole time I was in prison for 22 months, thought I was coming back to my business and everything that I owned and the business that I had built for over 10 years until I got to the halfway house. Even on the drive from Monterey or where, I don't remember where it is, Lompoc prison, you guys can Google it, but it's like a 6-8 hour drive home. Even on the whole 8-hour drive to the halfway house, my mom picked me up with an ex-girlfriend. And the whole way there, I knew I was going back to my shop. It wasn't until I got to the halfway house, I was still at intake at the front desk when the dude walked in, served me papers, divorce papers, and a restraining order, that I couldn't go back to my shop. So the pivot is, what do I do? Well, I can't leave this fucking place unless I have a job. So I immediately, that day or the next day, I think it was that day, I got to, my mom took me over to in Tirasana, where I grew up, where her house is. And I asked my friend Eddie, hey, can I have a job? Eddie gave me a job. And then I asked these other dudes across the parking lot, can I have a job? So I had 2 jobs, like within the first 2 days, delivering pizza, because that's like a part-time job. So I'm at like fucking 40, 50 hours. And then I got a third place over there to give me a job that same week. And I'm working 80 hours a week to be out of the halfway house. And then I rented a sewing machine from the same place I had used in the past. I don't remember how I even got that sewing machine, how it got to maybe somebody picked it up and brought it to my mom's house or something, but I couldn't even use the sewing machine, right? I wasn't allowed to go to my mom's house. I could only go to work and to the halfway house. But after like 4, 5, 6 weeks, I was able to leave the halfway house. So I was able to like go to my mom's house and stay there on weekends. So I was able to sew and start fucking around on the weekends with my shit and still work. But for the first 6 months, I worked 80 hours a week doing pizza delivery jobs. And the thing about the pizza delivery job is that's cash. Like working at Gaetano's through high school and after high school, like you could make $200, $300, $400 a night, because we're delivering wine, we're delivering pizza, we're delivering full Italian menu. And that neighborhood is not like a shitty neighborhood. It's not the ghetto, right? It's wealthy or middle class, people, and they tipped well. So we always had spending money as a kid. Like my friend Matt always had toys and shit just from working at Gaetano's. So that paid money. And then the other two jobs, they had like Pizza Hut was shit tips and Round Table was shit tips, but it got me out of that halfway house. I had to either be at the halfway house or be at work. So those are kind of shitty jobs. But I mean, when I walked in there, I had no documentation. Like when you go to Lompoc, when you go to prison, when you go to federal prison, they send all your documentation, all your shit home. Everything you checked in with, none of your clothes are there. When you're about to get out of prison, they have your family mail you some clothes there. So when you can check out, you put your clothes back on. But none of that shit's like held in the system. So I never got like my driver's license, my social security number. Like when I left prison, my wife didn't send me any of that shit. My mom brought me a pair of pants and a pair of shoes and shit like that. So, TPO, I don't know what that means. So, man, you completely fucked up my train of thought, Bob. I don't remember what I was saying.
I guess that, like, yeah, you didn't have GPS.
When I left, we had cell phones. When I got out of prison, we could text. I didn't have any texting. In that 2 years, texting started. Like that didn't exist.
So the texting kind of started on pagers, right? Like you could start sending messages to people on pagers.
Yeah, you could kind of put some in. Like I had a pager. I bought Amanda a pager so I could get a hold of her or tell her to come see me when I wanted to. But it used to be like I would call her pager number. Her pager would go off and I would put in the number I wanted her to call. So she would have to, if she's driving and her pager goes off, she'd have to stop at a payphone, pick up the payphone, call me and go, hey, what's up? That's how it was. And then cell phones came out, but most people did not have cell phones. Like I think I bought Amanda her very first cell phone ever.
So was if you're at a payphone and you want somebody to call that payphone, is the number on for that payphone? Is it written on it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't do payphones even exist anymore? Like, is that still a thing?
There are payphones some places, but not like they used to be. No. There are still some. You can find them somewhere, just like newspapers. Business question. What do you do if you're underquoted a bid? You're fucked. You better honor that bid or hope that they're understanding and try to renegotiate the bid. How far out was the bid when you evaluated it? Under the old bag phone. Yeah, my friend Mike had a bag phone and a Blue IROC Camaro. And we were at Fashion Valley and we're walking through Fashion Valley and Mike's got his phone and this dude comes up super excited and he's got a phone too. He's like, what's your number? I'm going to go to the other side of the shopping mall and I'm going to call you. Like that was the first fucking time I'd ever seen a fucking cell phone used. And they used to like be wired into your car.
How old were you when mobile phones came out?
I don't know. 21, 22, under that,
Brandon?
Probably 19.
Was I around before that?
Were you around for?
I had a pager.
So yes.
How old do you think that motherfucker is?
Internet.
I don't know, like 30 something.
How old are you?
38.
Yeah.
He's.
Cell phones.
I wouldn't say 38.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you were 38 looking at you.
Didn't hit until I was like 19, 18.
Damn.
They've not been around. Like,
drug dealing just to get by.
18, 19.
You know, my parents are not much older than you.
It depends where it is. Temporary restraining order, order of protection, restraining order. Like there's all kinds of different things. In San Diego, it was restraining order. Here, you have to get a restraining order, which means don't come here. And then if they come here and break that, then you get an order of protection. I think that's how it goes. Brandel has a hairline of a 60-year-old.
No, he doesn't.
I have the hairline of like an 18.
Brandel says he has a hairline of an 18-year-old.
It wouldn't be
Nextel chirp function.
Think that you're.
I had Nextel phones for all the guys. I want to say there was 5, and it was like a little brick, had a battery on the back, had this shitty pull-up antenna, and then it flipped down. The Nextel flipped down, and the keypad was under there. But I could chirp them, and I could chirp every one of those phones or just one of those phones on our network.
The BlackBerry was like a big thing when that came out, right?
I never owned a BlackBerry. That was kind of the BlackBerry was the first one I think that could text me, maybe.
I had like the Nokia, like the little like tiny
Nokia.
Yeah.
They make nasty ones.
Yeah, that was like the first cell phone like that everybody was texting on, and then like the Razor came out.
Amanda said she's older than your parents. I think I'm older than Isaac's
your
parents.
I think they're 45. So they're 7 years older than you, and they have a 23-year-old. What the fuck are you doing, man?
The phone would burn my face after being on it for 5 minutes. Yeah. California, when you break a temporary restraining order, they just remove the whole protection order and make the victim pay for those court fees. I found a few phones and pagers the other day. Closed my pager store down 30 years ago. Yeah, you used to have to go to a pager store. Mine was 619-998-8512. Your dad's 46.
46. So I think my mom is. They're the same age until December.
I haven't had kids yet because I focused on buying tattoos. Okay.
It's a good investment.
AJ said you eat the loss and work extra to make up for it. Education costs money, whether you go to college or not. That's a good way to put it. Whatever you're doing, stop doing it. That. My BlackBerry stopped a 9mm bullet from going in me. No shit. That's fucking wild shit.
Yeah. What was the one that's like they're regarded as indestructible now? Is it a Nokia?
I don't know. I just say the Nokia thing because of Transformers.
Yeah.
They took it and put it in the machine and it turned into a little fucking robot bug.
Yeah, there's a meme about the old phones that are indestructible.
Yeah.
Like surviving.
Yeah, he says
Nokia.
Nokia. Somebody said,
Yeah.
Homestead said Nokia. Somebody said, have we done a build on the koozie? I don't think we have. You got a new day pack, Hunter Floyd? You got one today? That's awesome. My grandfather had a painting company. All of his dudes had the gray mobile phones with the flip down button cover. Gave us a cell phone on recruiting duty that was indestructible. I know it was indestructible because I threw it against the wall several times.
Dude, he was not having a good time while he was on. I remember that. He did not enjoy recruiting duty. He was good as fuck at it though.
Tommy, we can talk about anything you want to talk about. The StarTAC phones. I do remember StarTAC phones.
What's StarTAC? Is that like
Just another cell phone?
Did you ever have a satellite phone?
Yeah, I had a Samsung, Qualcomm phone. And I had a Iridium phone. They're still out there. You can get cell phone. You can get and apparently all of your phones do satellite. They have satellite capability. They just don't turn it on for you.
So if I have a dedicated satellite phone, can you call any number? Like I could call
but
your iPhone?
Yeah, but it doesn't work like cellular. You pay. You got to pay for it. Okay. That's how these used to be. You get like 100 minutes a month or something, and then
for every text.
So you're paying for like the data stream up to a satellite.
Yeah.
Only my rich friends had unlimited.
Is the gym bag about the same? Yeah, they're about the same size. You get 2 extra pockets on each side with the gym bag.
Okay, now let me give you the rest of the information. It's the same pattern set. They are exactly the same size. They just have more features on them. Black and yellow Nextels were almost into. I remember those job site phones. I do remember those.
And the Boulder, the G Zone or GZ1 Boulder. Those things are sick.
Mine was like a candy bar. It opened sideways and had a full keyboard. Yeah. And when I bought that phone like 3 times in a row because it had the full keyboard. And then when they stopped making that thing, I was so fucked up for a while. And I remember seeing Jacob Herman at SHOT Show. I ran into him at SHOT Show, and he had an old Samsung Note, like one of the Note 1s or Note 2s or something. And I was making fun. I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do with that big phone? You can't even put it in your pocket. And now the phones are way fucking bigger than those things. I'm like, pretty soon you're just going to carry an iPad around. Yeah, Bob says sat phone is $1 a minute, worth every penny if you need it. Went from a flip phone to an iPhone 3 Yeah, everything when smartphones came out.
So I do remember when
A Prick 119. Were you using the 119 or the 119 Foxtrot? The little one that would like the big backpack one, or the one that would fit in your cargo pocket? Like back in the day, like Recon carried 3 radios, and one of those radios was SATCOM. Like there was no multi-radio stuff. And you had that big fucking antenna, that dish you had to fold out.
so iPhones can use satellite.
Yeah.
But is there a way to? He's saying that
You
it's
can't
only,
use satellite on your iPhone.
He's saying it's only when you don't have any cell service.
Yeah,
Is there a
like
way
in
to just-
emergency, they turn it on
Okay.
or allow you to do it. Yeah, you used to have to double, triple trap the same. Each button had 3 letters, so you used to have to
I remember
scroll
that.
through it.
Yeah, my first phone was a flip phone with had the 9 buttons on it.
The big one, yeah. LST5 Motorola Satcom. First portable phone was just a phone that installed in your car. We talked about that earlier in that fake leather fucking bag too on the portables.
They have the phones now with the screens. You can fold the screen.
Yeah, I think that's stupid.
It's super dumb.
Yeah, you can hear it.
They
even,
don't last.
You can, yeah, they do. Yeah, that's exactly it. Man, 3-way stop signs really confuse the local folk. Not only that 3-way stop sign is kind of staggered, so it's really fucked up. She's talking about going into Main Street there, I bet. Is it lunchtime already? I guess she's going to get lunch. SOE hats, what would you like? What would you like for SOE hats? A company hit me up the other day and said, hey, I watched your sew video. What would you recommend machine-wise? We do all of these bags for companies. And when I looked at their site, they do branded merchandise. And when I looked at their beanies, they had like fucking 20 pages of beanies. Like they had some really, really cool shit. And they had a lot of US made shit. So we're going to do some business with those guys. That's who had those pencils on there. Those pencils, that's their company.
We got to do a Right On hat.
Right on.
Right on.
Nobody knows what that is.
No.
You're the only one that thinks it's funny.
It's just funny because I hear you say it all the time. Tiger stripe.
Usually it's when I'm trying to break contact with somebody when I'm done talking. Right on. Okay.
Or usually if it's me,
Get
you'll
the
just
fuck
say,
on
fuck
out.
Off.
Usually that's how I start. What the fuck do you want?
Lexi said yesterday that you were you stood at the entrance to my bay for like 10 minutes waiting for me to look at you, and then you got bored and walked away.
I promise I wasn't standing looking at your ass for 10 minutes. I was doing something else. It's a good way to dismiss a topic. Right on. Right on. Get the fuck on out. Michael, what's up? Fold out Satcom antennas. We made all kinds of bags and shit that went on the side of rucksacks for them.
Foldable screens get messed up.
They do. You can see them crease.
There's videos of people going. So you know how you get a phone and it's got the film over the screen. You got to peel the film off. People were peeling the film off of these foldable screen phones, and they peeled the whole fucking screen off of the phone.
Little girl's first kid trip today. Man. Flex Fit Woodland. I didn't say 10 minutes. If you're going to quote me,
I'm sorry.
Get the facts right, please.
She said 2 minutes. She said 2 minutes.
Oh, I didn't even realize that's her. What are you doing on the fucking video? Aren't you at work right now? Right on. That's right. Perfect answer to everything. I am done talking to you. Right on. Right on, man. That's good. Right on. Did I hear you say mystery boxes are starting to ship? You did. Yeah, we're going to, I thought we are going to have we got the shirts last night at like 10 o'clock. So we're going to start shipping them out. Probably not today. We're going to box a bunch of them over the weekend and probably ship them out, start shipping Monday. Now, there's 450 orders. Only 200 of them are made. I generally don't like to send this stuff out until we try to ship everyone on the same day, so nobody knows what that shit is. But we got to get some of this out of here. Like, it's piling up. It's literally in the way right now. Burst transmitter. Yeah. Burst transmitter. I've never personally used one. I've seen them used. And then what was that crypto packet? Like the radio, like 19th out of Hawaii, like radio recon. And then the communicators with battalion and force. Like those dudes had, like, their rucksacks were 120 pounds with radios in them. They'd have 3 fucking radios. They'd have the VHF radio, they'd have the SATCOM, and then they'd have that third box in there that would do crypto.
Okay, so what's burst transmitter? What does that mean?
Instead of broadcasting, it's basically like packet radio and shit. So you're going to put it, or it might do. Can you do voice over burst? It's going to take all that information and it's going to basically just fucking shoot it all out at once. So it basically compresses it, and then it's received at another location and uncompressing. We used to have to use, you would use, I can't remember what it was called. You'd use these drives on a computer and you'd compress the fucking file. It would send it out, but they had to have they had to have the same thing to uncode it.
So is it just like compressing it into binary and sending signal?
I don't know how it worked. Like a text. Yeah, packet equals data. Driving to work. Just got done digging the hole. Yeah, we had a dog die here a couple weeks ago. We buried 2. Mystery boxes, Christmas. I think you guys are going to like the mystery box. The Expensify option, you guys that use the Expensify option, you're going to be glad you did. You guys that didn't use the Expensify option, the bag is completely fucking usable. You're going to like this thing. You're going to like them. I'd like to find an old military radio. I know a guy with a briefcase radio, former government radio. I still see like PRC shit. I still see PRC 20s, which were like Vietnam, and then Prick 77s. We still see those around. I left fucking a bunch of that stuff at my mom's house in San Diego. Rallyman pouches. We just built Rallymans last night, and today they're building Rallymans. And we have Woodland with a pistol, without. Do I need any more dogs? I do not, Bob. I've got enough dogs that I have dog problems right now, keeping them separate. LST5 SATCOM, HST20 HF, and PRC 119. There you go. What'd you do, Ron? Marine? Hit a mystery box after the bachelor party once. I hit a mystery box after a bachelor party.
What?
I got 2 shipments showing on the way. We've been shipping a lot of stuff, guys. A lot of shit. Harry Potter promo email that also had leather EDC tray. Yep. Go to an amateur radio swap meet for old military radio. Yeah, there's some military comm groups too on Facebook. My pops was a teletype operator in the Marines, replacing all my mag pouches with Rallymans. The Rallyman is very versatile. It will carry 3 M4s of any flavor. It'll carry 2 308s, and it'll do 20s or 25s, and then it'll do AK mags.
So the AK mags need to be lugs up, right?
The AKs, no, you can do them either way on the Rallymans. The pocket has enough room in it. It's not like form fitted to it.
What else will fit in there aside from mags? Like what
smoke grenade? Fuck, anything that'll fit in there. A night vision binocular you can put in there. Fuck, use your imagination. Anything, a Pelican box will fit in there. Like the Rallyman mag pouch is a patrol mag pouch. It just has the Velcro lid that moves up and down in the back, right? So it's more adjustable. Whereas the patrol mag, you couldn't put shorter stuff in there because the flap wouldn't tighten enough. So by making that back separate and Velcro, you can suck it down inside there so you can hold lower mags. Whereas we used to have to take 2 pieces of isomat or foam, put in the bottom. Guys were really putting like bandages in the bottom. So you put it in there to bump those short mags up so that the closure on the mag pouch should work properly. But they issued the patrol mag pouches they issued them to recon and to stay platoon, which was the sniper platoons. And they would carry, because a lot of the sniper platoon guys, a lot of the guys on stay, surveillance, target, and acquisition, they were carrying M16s. They were carrying A2s with a 203 on them. So they had a grenade launcher but one guy would carry the sniper rifle, and then the other dude would have some variant of a, we call them M4s now. So what they would carry is 3 M4 mags in one pocket, and they're carrying a Pelican case in another pocket, and they had a lot of seer shit and like survival stuff, or they would carry a radio in that other pocket. They had these things called Harris, like pilot radios, Harris survival radios, and you saw a lot of guys with that shit too, depending when in time.
You can get a jar of peanut butter. What?
You can get, yeah, you can put a jar of peanut butter in there. You sure could.
6 sticks of dynamite. Where are we getting dynamite?
Well, like when I was a kid, you could buy dynamite at a
Are you
hardware
shitting
store.
me? Seriously?
Yeah, and I'll bet if you go to Virginia and Carolina and shit, you probably still could too. I'll bet there's places here in Tennessee, like we go into these old antique stores in Tennessee that were like mining towns, and you see all kinds of crazy shit in those general stores.
Man,
you could buy guns in San Diego at the Ace hardware store. They'd have a turkey shoot where all the kids would come show up, and you'd shoot these targets with a BB gun inside the store. And they had a rack of guns. You could buy guns and shit right there in Terrasana when I moved there.
so you don't have to do like any ATF forms or anything to get dynamite. You just buy it.
I'm sure there's all kinds of paperwork that goes with it now. You have to have blasting license, a demolition license. They probably have to come out and check your storage magazine, which is your secure, storage lockup.
Well, that stuff, if you leave it, will like
become unstable.
Yeah.
I don't think they're using dynamite anymore, but like glycerin. But dynamite was considered an agricultural product. Farmer has a huge stump or boulder in a field. They use dynamite over here all the time. When you hear all those explosions, they're blowing up beaver dams, like the Tennessee Valley Authority guys, the wildlife guys. Some farm stores would carry dynamite. I'm using one of my Rallyman Mac couches as a small IFAC. Yeah, it totally work. Our pull-out med tray fits in there. I like the M14 sniper setup. Are we talking like the old M14 with a giant fucking PVS-4 on it, like Vietnam kind of shit? Lots of farms around here still have dynamite. Just present a proof that you will blow up Teslas. Yeah, they'll give it to you. They'll give you to
Sonny, what's
up? To quote Grand Thumb, explosives are easy to make.
There's like Anarchist Cookbook.
Okay,
you can find all kinds of shit.
Be very careful with Anarchist Cookbook. Most of them out on the market right now. We have a buddy. He's in the military. Well, kind of in the military. And they went through the Anarchist Cookbooks, and most of that shit did not fucking build the product you wanted it to build, or in fact would actually fuck you up in the process of building it.
I feel like a lot of
this isn't a guy that like I heard secondhand. This is a dude that I have known for fucking 35 years.
Well, they teach like you can use cat litter. You can use the clumps from cat litter and bleach, and it makes basically mustard gas. But if you do that, then
I don't think it does. It depends. It depends on the cat litter. A lot of cat litter now is just made of clay.
Well, no, it's the cat piss in the cat litter. You're getting the ammonia.
Got it. Yeah, they weren't they using piss to make saltpeter or something. They were making a bunch of explosives up by you, those bogs and shit.
It's chicken shit. So there used to be like an order that the government could come through, rip up your floorboards, and scoop the top layer of dirt out to extract all of the nitrates out of the dirt to make explosives. That's how they made gunpowder back in the day.
Yeah, they were making gunpowder out of fucking latrines and shit too.
Yep.
Yeah. Wouldn't even want to type into Google. No, I mean, we just said it. So you're on the list anyways. You don't have to type shit in no more. You got these motherfuckers listening. Few household chemicals, proper proportions. Bert from Tremors. This kid has no idea what Tremors is.
No, I've never heard of that.
One of my wildest adult thoughts thinking about being 15 and my buddy had a half stick of dynamite. Now I'm 33. Dynamite was considered agriculture. Yeah, there's a couple other comments in here I wanted to see. I guess FFL transfer requirement was part of the 1968 Gun Control Act. Before that, you could have guns. Yeah, like when I was a kid, you could buy machine guns, like water-cooled machine guns, all that shit, just like right out of the back. I think Popular Mechanics, Popular Science, Ranger Rick, I think, had it in there. Boy's Life. There was all kinds of shit you could buy.
So that's that.
Scully talks about there's a guy that was one of the original Mob 6 guys. He lived out of Las Vegas. He was really good friends with Scully. I knew him a little bit. And when Scully went to his house, he had like anti-aircraft guns sitting with a piece of glass over it. That was his table. He's like, where the fuck did you get that? He's like, I bought it. It was $68. I saved up for my paper route and I mailed it. And like 6 weeks later, a crate showed up and that was there. If you ever read Unintended Consequences, you'll hear those stories.
So that's pre-1980, anything pre-1986. All the machine guns before then are considered
correct
antique firearms and legal to own. You don't have to file any paperwork for those either, right?
Well, you do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the
you do now.
NFA,
you used to be able to buy something called Curios and Relics with no registration, but I don't know whether that's the case anymore.
So I know that there was.
Yeah, Shotgun News was another one. Yeah.
I know there was at least one company taking Mac 10s and like fusing them onto AR-15 lowers and using the full auto from the Mac 10 to build a legal full auto lower because they're pre-1986.
Bert from Tremors, yeah, Billy Stojak was his name. Machine Gun Baby. She's on Instagram. You can check her out.
I think I blew up an apartment when he was brought to jail. He had a 5-subject notebook full of ways to make different bombs. Damn.
Fucking when Rich was going through EOD school, they had a bunch of bomb squad guys that would come in and talk to him. And they'd showed up, something blew up in an apartment or something. They showed up and the guy was making some kind of explosives in the bathtub and it went off somehow and it followed the curve of the bathtub. So when they found him, his right under his kneecaps were there at an angle cut off. The knees were still standing there in boots. All of the rest of his body was all over the fucking the roof and the back wall of that bathroom.
He just made a big shape charge out of his bathtub.
Yep. Still can get the M1A program in the mail and good info. Soldier of Fortune. Yep. We were on 3 covers of Soldier of Fortune, complete SOE kit, 3 covers of Soldier of Fortune. We were in several articles there. I was in county jail, COVID, and they didn't use bleach because it could be mixed with urine. I call bullshit. Last cheap bastards just didn't want to spend the money. Anybody confirm that? Urine and bleach? I've heard of, because bleach and ammonia. I think there's something to that.
I know with like cat piss, you can do it because you can smell the ammonia in like a litter box, but I don't know about like people. I don't know about that.
Laugh Out Loud Boys Life and the Boy Scouts has a whole new meaning. It does now. Yeah. In Atlanta a couple of years ago, we had protesters using styrofoam. Yeah, making napalm. Yep. Dude, I've known that since I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Ammonia and bleach is bad. Cast iron tub shaped charge. Oh yeah, somebody's getting knocks on a door from this fucking video. They won't even knock. You just hope they knock.
They're gonna knock, but it's only gonna be once, and there's not gonna be a door left.
Had a boot in the barracks. Set up the alarms. Clear out the entire floor. Using both to clean the head. But could you do it with piss? Is there enough ammonia in piss, or could you isolate the ammonia out of the piss to be an issue with bleach is the question. Cooking oil and kitty litter specific brand will cause thermal run. Got it. There you go. That's what you're talking about. But it has to be dirty kitty litter. It's the urine in the kitty litter.
I don't know what you're talking.
Grandpa was a chemist. Don't get me started. I'm back. All right, guys, we're out of here. Yes, store the urine and it will ferment. God, there we go. Battle chemist. That's why they call him battle chemist. Chlorine and ammonia mixed properly in water turns chlorine into chloramines. That's what they're using now, guys. Like you could take city water, take a pitcher full of chlorinated water and splash them back and forth, and the chlorine will off gas. Chloramine will not do that. Neither will bromine. You cannot fucking aerate them and remove them from the water. So when you're watering your garden with city water now, you can't just let that water sit. Those chemicals don't just fucking off gas any longer. You can get an RV water filter, or there's several water filters that'll inline with a hose, and you can water your garden using that filter. It greatly lowers your water pressure. A lot of protein, ammonia in pee.
You can make phosgene.
That's why you're not big. You got to start drinking your pee.
Yeah.
It can't be your pee, though. It has to be a stranger's pee.
Say,
and once you've met a guy and you get his pee, he's no longer a stranger. So you have to solicit pee from many different strangers.
It's easy on Marketplace.
They selling pee?
Yeah, all you got to do is say Appy Juice.
Happy juice?
Appy juice.
Why Appy juice? Why do you know this?
You just go in there and you say, I need Appy Juice.
And Facebook, I'm just going to put out an ad on Facebook for Appy Juice.
Just need Appy Juice.
Are you making this up? You know they're selling the shit out of breast milk.
I mean,
what if that chick has some disease? Can diseases pass through breast milk?
It's got to be.
I think it's like any bodily fluid for a lot of them.
Is that why you have gonorrhea?
Buddy, there's no chance.
That motherfucker don't got gonorrhea. He can't just get that walking around.
There's no fucking chance.
Oh no. Goats have gonorrhea.
Damn it. Get them tested.
You make phosgene gas from air conditioner, refrigerant, and a flame. I don't even know what phosgene gas is.
Yeah. You look at the guys that did ricin and put it through the AC sets, blew it into those hotel rooms from, I don't know. We probably should not be talking about this shit. We're not going to do this. They caught some boys trying to make some ricin, and they stopped them right before they were about to release it at rush hour on Atlanta highways. They were going to release it on 3 main roadways, and they stopped these good old boys, and they found them fucking completely by accident. ATF had ran some case down on some fucking homemade suppressors, tracked him out into the woods, and I don't know how they put that dude together with these other guys, but somehow they connected it, and they literally rolled these dudes up like hours. They had a van loaded up, they had dispersal, they had all this fucking powder ricin, and they were going to put it out on the fucking interstate on Atlanta, because that's where black people were. These were some white dudes that did not like black people, and that was their thing, is they were going to put this shit out on the fucking interstate.
So that's like, if you get rice poisoned with ricin, like that's a wrap, right? There's nothing you can do to save that person.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. No, I think you can. I think Cipro. Cipro. That's what's the one I'm thinking of? Anthrax. Anthrax stays in the soil just like parvo for fucking hundreds of years. From boom boom to piss, this is a wild lot. Yeah, we're probably not going to get promoted out tonight when we fucking do the live. What did they use for the Japanese subway? Yeah, that's a good question, right? And there was some shit released in a New York subway also. They released it. There was released in several subways. Its name was Special Operations Equipment. Its name was Special. I don't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. So if you get
castor
ricin,
beans,
that's it.
Burning R22 screw. Yeah. Isn't ricin that requires an injection straight to the heart to new? I don't know, man.
Kevin Timmer's saying that there's no antidote, so I thought that there was no antidote.
Sarin.
Nerve agents, man, are scary.
Glenn, what's up? What did Art Dean say? The old saying, ain't got a pot to piss in. They sold it. All right, guys, we're going to turn this off. We got to go eat lunch, and then we're going to do some videos here. Ricin poison treatment requires simple life support, including help breathing. It's a play on Robert Paulson's fight. Got it. Yeah, that's sarin gas you guys are thinking of. Join the SOE chat every night, guys. We do a live every night at 9 o'clock. Join us. If you're on oh, you know what? I never went live on Instagram. So they didn't even know we were here. All right, guys, we're going to do some, we'll probably do a live in there while we're filming the gear build video. We got a few things we're going to film today. We will see you guys tonight, 9 o'clock.